What's up YouTube? This is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you today with a video to talk about making money off of older Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now first off, let me give a big apology. I know it's been quite a while since my last video up here on YouTube. It's just, a ton of real life stuff has been going on with me, and Yu-Gi-Oh is just not the top priority for me. And unfortunately that means that I cannot make videos quite as often as I was once able to. But with all that out of the way and said, let's talk about the topic of today's video. Now many of us that have been playing the game for a number of years can tell you that older cards always find a way to sneak back into the current formats. And with that comes huge price increases, meaning they drive the secondary market prices of those said cards way up through the roof, especially the really high rarity versions of them. Now sometimes it's by accident. Maybe an older card has certain synergy with a new archetype or some individual card from the newest set that's getting released, and it just makes it very playable once again. Sometimes it's also by design. When Konami releases legacy support for an older archetype, those older cards also become more valuable to the secondary market, as players will be looking to reacquire them. Now of course we've seen this countless times in the past, most recently with cards maybe like Leviar the Sea Dragon, 10 Goldfish shot way up in price, the ultimate rare A Hero Lives, even cards like Bujin Tsukiyomi. Who would have thought a Bujin card maybe 6 months ago would be worth over 20 bucks in today's market? Now the question then becomes, how do you stay ahead of this and how do you make a profit off of it? Now my best advice has always been to seek out older cards that have always been really good but have maybe fallen to the wayside. Maybe their archetype got hit by the ban list. Maybe they are on the ban list. Maybe they've just been power creeped out. And essentially these cards are not bad. They had a place in the meta at one point in time, or maybe they're just a good card that never really got their chance to shine, and maybe they will in a future meta. If there is a card that is an ultimate rare or secret rare, or just a really hard to get card out there that was maybe released as a promo or something like that, those are the cards that you should be really looking to pick up. I mean, 6 to 8 months ago, you probably could have picked cards like A Hero Lives Ultimate Rare, and maybe even the Bujin Tsukiyomi cards up, and just got as many of them as you wanted. And if you would have done that and held on to them till now, you could have made a pretty sizable profit. So what I'd like to do now is kind of give my ideas on a couple cards that may eventually see price increases. Maybe in 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, maybe never, I don't know. Who knows with Konami really. But these are cards that are kind of high rarity, that are going really cheap right now, that one might want to look into picking up. And they have to do with the wind-up archetype. Now at one point, wind-ups were a top tier meta deck. They of course have been power creeped out, and they're still pretty hit hard on the ban list. So even if you wanted to play a competitive version of a wind-up deck, you couldn't. Now eventually, these cards will come off of the ban list, and maybe we'll get some legacy support for windups, and these older cards will come back into the current meta again. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not, but I think that they are prime for picking up now, especially because they're just so cheap for their highest rarities. Cards like the secret rare version of Windup Rabbit. They're really cheap right now. They're a good card in and of themselves, plus they have good synergy with the Windup archetype, and if windups ever come back into the forefront of the meta, they'll be cards that will most likely be sought out by the player base. And the other one is the ultimate rare version of Wind-Up Carrier Zenmaity. Now of course it's still currently sitting on the forbidden list, but it may someday come back. It may come back to 1 or 3, or maybe even if it comes back and there's new Wind-Up legacy support with it, people will definitely be looking to pick them up. These cards that are super dirt cheap right now, you can pick up a playset or a few playsets for a couple bucks, is definitely going to be worth it, especially if you want to play windups if they ever come back into the forefront. And you could sell the extras and make a sizable profit to pick up the other newer cards that come out that you could use. So my advice is to go out, look at other older archetypes like windups, look at their most high rarity versions of the cards that are currently sitting very low in price, and pick some of them up, because you never know. In Yu-Gi-Oh, anything is possible, and anything can happen with Konami. Anyhow, those are my thoughts on it. Remember, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And I guess that's going to do it for now. This is GalacticGod.